My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my bets for UFC Vegas 85. But before I do, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets, signs up with any one of our partners using our link, and makes a deposit gets $50 from my bank account to yours. This is affiliate marketing. They're going to pay me, and I'm going to slice off some of that money and give it right back to you as a thank you. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Use our links to sign up with any one of those partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50. Let's also talk about the wild success that we had at UFC 297. The bets that we gave premium members at UFC 297 crushed. The rest of the world suffered. The rest of the world did very poorly at UFC 297. And I get it. It was a very, very tricky card, but we did a good job navigating the chaos, avoiding the Malcolm Gordons, not being too exposed to the Mike Mallats, and we put up some solid numbers. I only put 3.5 units on the board for bets, and I took back almost 5. Jacob put up 6.5, and he took back more than 8. Solid ROI, solid bets. It was a successful night overall, and one of those shining stars of success was the premium member safety parlay. That was a very hard card to put together a safety parlay for, but we managed to do it, and we managed to hit another one of those. If you want to unlock the safety parlay for this card and every other card, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. We are kicking off an 11-week fight stretch. Every single Saturday for 11 weeks, there will be fights, culminating at UFC 300. So that $10 gets you 4 events worth of picks, bets, and more. Some of the stuff you're going to get is the line movement tracker. We offer tools with the premium membership. This is going to give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every single fighter on every single card. You're also going to get detailed data, metrics, and analytics. This 38-column spreadsheet of information should help you find your prop bets. Help you go, oh, I should go over on the round line here. Oh, I like that takedown prop bet because look at the takedown offense on this guy and the takedown defense on his opponent. Either way, we give you tools, we give you insight, we give you bets, we give you so much more. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. Let's go ahead and talk about this card. So I'll show you my bets in a second, but I'm going to start off with some of my favorites. Got to find a better way to word that. And some solid underdogs that I really like. As far as favorites are concerned, this is another sketchy card. We have done very well. We have had 2 cards so far in 2024, and we blew the doors off of both of them. UFC Vegas 84, crushed it. UFC 297, crushed it. UFC Vegas 85, I'm hoping to crush, but this is another tricky card. UFC Vegas 84 was easy. 297 and this card are hard. But if we're looking at some favorites, I like Zach Maxim. I think he's insanely talented. I think he could absolutely beat Charles Johnson. I think he's going to need to wrestle to get it done. I don't think he's going to be able to outstrike Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson's a very good striker. We have seen Charles out-wrestled many times, but we're going to need Azat to do a better job wrestling in this fight than he did against Tyson Nam in his UFC debut, but I am confident he can get it done. Mediocre odds on that. Natalia Silva is my most confident pick on this card. Some absolute basement-dwelling dork commented, I turned it off as soon as you said Natalia Silva was your most confident. WMMA? So the implication there is that you can't be confident in a female fighter. And hopefully this doesn't get clipped and shipped because I embarrassed myself and she got her ass kicked. But I am very confident in Natalia Silva. Look across the slate. We either have very talented people in really tough matchups or 2 trash people in trashy matchups. So on this card, Natalia Silva, to me, has the widest skill gap in her fight. She is that much better than Vivian Araujo. She should be better on the feet. She should be better controlling distance. She should be able to avoid any of the dangerous, powerful strikes. And she should be able to stay far enough away and have good enough takedown defense that the ground isn't going to matter. Natalia Silva, minus 350. Very confident in her. Randy Brown. I'm very confident in Randy Brown as well. My only concern for Randy Brown is sometimes he does dumb shit. Sometimes he wants to show off a little bit. Look how good I am. And yeah, his opponent, Muslim Salikov, is 40, slowing down a little bit, aging out. But he's still dangerous, and he doesn't suck. So Randy Brown, if he fights smart, if he fights well, he keeps it tight, should absolutely blow the doors off of Muslim Salikov. But if he wants to play games, he could end up in some trouble. So I am confident in him, and I'm going to trust that he's not going to play stupid games. And then Markel Medeiros, UFC debut, so only so much confidence you can have in a UFC debut. And he has a tough opponent, but I think he's going to be the far better striker. I think he's got very nice, slick striking, good footwork, phenomenal takedown defense. I think Markel Medeiros wins this fight. And if we're looking at underdogs, obviously there's a whole bunch of live dogs on this card. Anytime we say this is a tough card, that means there's a whole bunch of underdogs that could spoil some nights. So my advice to you, don't overly expose yourself to any one fighter. Everybody had Mike Malott in at least one parlay. So did I. And I lost that parlay. But it's okay because I only had him in one single parlay. The lesson there is, while Natalia Silva is my most confident pick on this card, I'm not going to have her in 10 different things because one crazy thing, this is MMA, one crazy punch, one crazy doctor stoppage for some stupid reason, and all of a sudden 10 parlays bust instead of one. So prepare accordingly. If we look at some solid underdogs, Luana Carolina. Listen, I think the fact that Julia Stoliarenko opened as an underdog and is soaring to good size favorite is bizarre to me. I think Julia can win this fight because Luana has been taken down 2 times in her last 4 fights, meaning 8 times total. And if Julia Stoliarenko gets it to the ground, she beats her. But I think we have established that Julia kind of sucks. I think we've established that if Julia can't submit you, she has nothing else to offer. Her striking is abysmal. Luana Carolina is tough. She just played spoiler to a Russian UFC hype machine girl. You get what I'm saying? She just beat up a prospect is where I'm going with that. And yes, Julia Stoliarenko went down in weight, looked phenomenal, but that was against Molly McCann, who has the worst grappling I have seen in that division. So anyway, Luana, I think, is a good underdog, and those lines, that odds continue to widen. Blake Builder, same thing, plus 140. He's a very good grappler. He did just lose. He lost to Kyle Nelson. He was a good-sized favorite. He should have won that fight. He kind of shit the bed, honestly. But that's because he didn't go like 100% all in on the grappling, couldn't keep up with the striking. His opponent is very good. His opponent has some power. But I think if Blake Builder fights smart, comes out aggressive, uses his size, because he's going to be the bigger fighter here, we could find that his opponent was sort of a regional can crusher. So Zhang Young Lee is dangerous, but I think Blake Builder can possibly get that done. Plus 140. I also picked him to win. Mahmoud Muradov, he is Jacob's lock of the week. Plus 126 are his current odds. Jacob got him at plus 160, I believe. We'll show you that in a minute. Mahmoud Muradov is a very good fighter. I think he loses this fight, but I fully recognize he is a good underdog because his submission defense is incredible and he's got very good cardio. So while his opponent may slow down later, Mahmoud Muradov could start to take over, could weather an early grappling storm, and then potentially sneak out a win. Drew Dober, I do think he wins. I do have a bet on him. The odds are even better now than when I got them. Frankly, Drew Dober, as we know, has insane power in his hands. As we know, he's pretty tough. And his opponent, Renato Moicano, hasn't fought in a year. He's a bit chinny. Renato Moicano is going to be the more technical striker. Drew Dober, I feel like, will get hit early. Renato's going to get a little confidence, like, oh, okay, I'm touching this guy, and then Drew Dober could potentially blast him. Exactly what happened when Drew Dober fought Bobby Green. And then Roman Dolidze. How could we not say Roman Dolidze is a solid underdog? This guy is a world champion grappler and uses it. He's not like a world champion grappler with like, oh, the gi and like, he wins on point. Like, no, the dude is dumb dangerous. Phil Hawes took him down with a slick duck under. Within 5 seconds, he had Phil Hawes' knee bending the wrong direction. Jack Hermanson, who's also this incredible grappler everyone's afraid of, they end up on the ground. Roman Dolidze smoked that dude. Smoked him with a calf slicer. Made it look effortlessly, like just, it was insane the way he took control of that fight, how quickly he did that on the ground. So, point being, Roman's got power in his hands, phenomenal grappling, and if he can close the distance on the feet, he can blast Nasruddin Imavov. If it ends up on the ground, he could absolutely work from there. I think Roman loses because you can't trust him. He doesn't have the best game plans, but he's a solid underdog. He's very dangerous, and I do have a bet on him. Let's run through. I mentioned the Drew Dober money line. I got it at plus 125. Much better odds now, so I did not beat the line there. Much better odds now. Only a half a unit. I think Drew Dober is the more dangerous guy. I think Renato Moicano may have some ring rust with a year away. I think Renato Moicano, if he's not all in on the grappling, could have some issues standing. Then I did the Urbina Radke over 2.5 round line. I am surprised this was plus money. Frankly, yes, Urbina's got 2 fights in the UFC and they're 2 finishes, and I get it. Win or loss, right? But Charlie Radke's tough. He's aggressive. He has no problem being boring as well. I think this could potentially be a back and forth slobber knocker where this goes the distance. This goes over 2.5. So only a quarter of a unit on that because it is risky. Both of these guys have paths to finish victories here, but plus 120 there. I did Roman Dolidze inside the distance decision, no action. What that means is if Roman Dolidze finishes Nasruddin Imavov, he submits him, knocks him out, whatever it is, I'll get paid. If Roman Dolidze loses a decision, which I think is the most likely outcome here, I get a full refund on that half a unit. It's like this bet never happened. The only way I lose this bet is if Nasruddin finishes Roman, and I just don't see that happening. Roman is tough enough that even if he's getting picked apart, even if he's getting blasted at distance, he's not going to get finished. Then we have Markel Medeiros, Thomas Peterson. I parlayed the 2 young prospects. Neither one of them are very young, but I parlayed the 2 UFC debut prospects. I think they're both going to win. Thomas Peterson with the wrestling, Markel Medeiros with the striking. I parlayed them together. I threw a full unit on it, and it was plus 138. So solid return there. If you notice, what I like to do here is when I do parlays, I do risky with risky, confident with confident. Because what I don't want to do is take a couple confident guys, parlay them, and then throw in one risky one, and then the whole thing busts. I'm going to put the 2 risky people together, so it is what it is, and the 2 confident together. It's my personal preference on how I do things, and that's why the next parlay is 2 of my more confident guys. Azat Maxim, I think he should win. He should beat Charles Johnson. He should be able to get the wrestling going, and we've seen Charles Johnson just not be able to perform his last couple of fights. And then Gilbert Urbina. While I do recognize Charlie Radke is tough, Charlie Radke has some good offensive wrestling, and Gilbert Urbina's defensive wrestling isn't very good. I just think Gilbert's pace, his pressure, his forward-moving wrestling, his forward-moving style, just constantly staying in Charlie's face, I think that will help Gilbert, and I think that this will hit, obviously, only half a unit on that because of the Gilbert size. Then I have a round prop parlay. I'm not telling you what it is. That is for premium members. It is plus 117. And then I have this safety parlay is minus 117. 1 full unit on that. Overall, I have 4.25 units on the board. If everything hits and it's a magical night, 9.03 return. More than double my money. That is well over a 100% return on investment. Here's a closer look at that safety parlay. You can unlock it at WeWantPicks.com. Just click become a member at the top. It's freaking $10. It's freaking $10. There are people out there with $20 Patreons. There are people out there with, $150 setups, but that's absurd. $10. You're going to get 4 events worth of stuff. And it's because I'm in the volume business. We have 3,000 premium members. And it's because of the price point. It's because of everything that we offer. We're going to continue to expand it. And we're going to create a world where nobody can sell anything because I'm selling this for $10 a month. Safety parlay, I hit 8 of the last 9 parlays. It hits at a 70% event rate. That is an incredible event rate. A parlay in a very volatile betting sport. Somebody commented, I hate when you say it's very volatile. Shut the fuck. This is the most volatile betting sport there is. One punch changes everything. One Mike Malott with 20 seconds left can't flop around like a fish. Changes everything. How many times have we seen massive underdogs get smoked? What happened when Valentina Shevchenko last year lost her belt? How big? Minus 600. You don't see that in other sports. I don't want to hear this is not a volatile betting sport. This is insanely volatile. Obviously, we get 13 to 14 fights a weekend and a handful of upsets. You find your spots, you do it right, you make some money. Safety parlay has been a shining star of stability during that chaos. You can unlock this, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's only $10 a month. Here's a sneaky preview of Jacob's bets. The rest of his are for premium members. He has 8 total units on the board for this card, and we do have future bets for cards in the future as well. He's got 8 units going. He obviously has a money line on Mahmoud Muradov. That is his lock of the week. Those odds, plus 160, those don't exist anymore. Premium members got those odds nice and early. And then he's got Diana Belbita plus 3.5. What that means is you're buying points on the scorecard, similar to betting the spread if you're doing other team sports. So you buy 3.5 points on the scorecards, and the way that math works out is as long as Diana Belbita wins one single round on the judge's scorecard, she wins this bet. This bet hits at plus 125. Obviously, if she gets shut down 30-27, it doesn't hit. If she gets finished, it doesn't hit. But if she wins outright, if she loses a split, or if she just wins one single round on the scorecards, that bet cashes. You can unlock all of his and more at WeWantPicks.com. And we'll talk about Bet Openly for a quick second here. So Bet Openly, if you go back to that first slide, you're going to see I had Bet Online's odds and then Bet Openly's odds. Bet Openly's odds are better every single time. And that's because they're not a sports book. They are peer-to-peer betting, person to person. And because they're not a sports book, they don't have to manipulate the lines to build in profit. An even money fight on a sports book is minus 110, minus 110. So no matter what, they're getting 10%. Doesn't matter what side wins, they just made 10%. Bet Openly takes 1 single percent, and then the rest of the money goes to the players because their whole thing is, hey, we are just a marketplace for you to basically sell bets to each other. And we'll take a 1% processing fee to pay the engineers and software developers and the hosting and all that crap. You guys throw up your bets. You can change your odds if you want. You can bet with each other. Good luck. Where I love this are the comment section heroes. I love this for the comment section heroes with their fake bets, and then they disappear and they never pay. We have a free Discord. In the Discord, we have premium features for premium members. The Discord overall is free, at least for now. I'm going to convert that to premium eventually because it's just getting so big and there's so many weirdos in this world. But anyway, right now, it is a free Discord. So always people would come in, oh, I'll bet this, I'll bet that. They'll bet everybody. We have this EO rule. There was this like little goblin drooly, like fat nerd, EO. And he was in the Discord betting everybody. When it was, I think it was Paul Craig and Johnny Walker, I believe. He bet everybody. Oh, 500 here, 50 here. Whoa. And then obviously, poof, he disappeared. Bet Openly solves that problem. So we made a rule. There is no betting in this Discord. You do not bet each other because you can't trust half these people. Now that there's Bet Openly, the rule is you can bet. It's got to be through Bet Openly because the money goes from my bank account to yours if you win, yours to mine if I win. But either way, the odds are locked in. The bet is in the cloud. And as soon as it's established who won, the money goes to the other person's account. This is how Jacob and I bet each other because can't trust that weasel. Either way, you can check them out. Just go to betopenly.com or wewantpicks.com/betopenly. It is a great way to bet with people you know or don't know without worrying that they're not going to pay up. And don't forget about that $50, wewantpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our sportsbook partners, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.